Welcome back, guys. JT here, and do I got an exciting video for you. We're gonna go back into the narcissist realm. And I really pondered on this yesterday, and I had a couple thoughts, and I'm like, this would be an amazing video. I wish I saw this video when I first got out of my narcissistic relationship. So without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome back, guys. JT here. Please hit that like button, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you guys like these videos. We're going on the narcissist topic once again. And man, this is a great topic because I thought about this yesterday, and I wish I had seen a video like this when I first got on my narcissistic relationship. And I wonder, why do you think we get put in a narcissistic relationship? We can talk about this in the spiritual aspect as well as a religious aspect. And I have two answers, two that I thought about deeply. And I really pondered about this a lot yesterday, and I thought about it. And there's no karma in the Bible, but we're going to talk about it from a God sense and then from a karma perspective. And so maybe being put in a narcissistic relationship is us repaying our karmic debt. And so when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about all the sins, all the bad doings I've done in my life, and what could possibly add up to being put in a narcissistic relationship, because damn, it is brutal. It is definitely one of the worst things you can ever go through in this lifetime. And from my perspective for karma, I was thinking about it, and I kind of went through my brain of all these types of different things that I've done in my life, whether small sins or larger ones, and this one popped in my head, and it like blew my mind when I thought about it, because it's almost what I went through with this narcissist, I put someone else through to an extent. Not nearly as bad as what I went through, but I'll tell you a quick story. We're going to keep this video short. I want to keep these videos under 10 minutes if possible. I just want to put out as much information in these videos as possible. So essentially, quick story. 4 years ago, I was dating my best friend. We got along great. We got a dog together, rescued a dog. We ended up buying a house together. And her family and her were pushing for marriage. And I always knew from the beginning that I didn't want to settle. Like I just never saw us being together long term. And the karma on my part should have been I should have walked away sooner, but I was scared. So I ended up staying in this relationship far too long, and definitely shouldn't have gotten a dog, definitely shouldn't have bought a house. But I ended up breaking up with her and went my separate ways. I moved across the state. I wanted to live my life and travel and do all these things, and I put her through pretty much what I went through with the narcissist, to the extent where, I mean, in a way, she loved me so much. She loved me so much. I had love for her, but I wasn't in love with her. And so I think that, her loving me that much and then me not reciprocating it, that's essentially what a narcissist does to an extreme level, because they can't love anyone. They don't even love themselves. And so me doing that to her was my karmic debt, and I had to go through it 100-fold going through it with the narcissist. I did every single thing I could possibly think of for my narcissist to try and get her to love me, to try and feel that love. Like, I did everything, paid for everything, bought her a car, was gonna buy her a house, did everything, and still didn't receive any love back whatsoever. That was my karma. So I can look at it from that extent. Comment below. Let me know how you guys view it. If you think that you had some big sin or something you did to another person that could have led to you being in a narcissistic relationship. Because as we know, everything is everything in this world. Energy, everything is energy, right? Energy cannot be created or destroyed. So we're just reciprocating energy. So what we put into something can come back and can come back tenfold. So if you put out that negative energy in another person's life, it can come back on you. That's the way like karma works, right? And then the second way I thought about this was in a more of a religious, godly manner. It could be God trying to bring you closer to Him, putting you on your spiritual journey. And I've seen this in a lot of forums, a lot of YouTube videos I've watched where people get in a narcissistic relationship and that leads them to their spiritual journey. Because what ends up happening is you go through the most emotional pain and trauma that you could ever imagine, and that awakens something in your soul. And that, you realize that you can't do it on your own. You need God, Jesus, to save you. Because when you go through a narcissistic relationship, if you don't have God after the narcissistic relationship, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be absolutely awful. You're going to go through hell. You're going to go through absolute hell. And I always think about this because after, they say this in the Bible a lot of times, God will isolate you, put you through a season or two of isolation. And that's really to, find yourself, find your true self and get closer to God. And so I went through 2 seasons of isolation. That beep. I just had throat surgery 2 days ago, and I have to wear this monitor. They put a microchip in my esophagus. I've been having swallowing issues for 2 years. Could be another karma for me. But yeah, they stapled a microchip on the inside of my esophagus, and it's testing all my swallowing muscles and like the acidity and the valves and everything, because every couple months I have to go in and they put me to sleep, and my throat is super tight. Normal throat is 15 to 18 millimeters, and mine is 13. So it keeps tightening up, and they can't figure out why. So sorry about that beep and that little side tangent, but we all go through things in life, right? No one's life is perfect, and the more pain you go through just means more growth. Anyway, where was I? So when you go through the isolation period, I went through 2 seasons of isolation, about 8 months. No friends, no going out, no doing anything, just healing. When you go through a narcissistic relationship, you have to go through immense healing. So my second, opinion besides the karma is that it's you getting on your spiritual path to go towards God, to realize that there's more to your life than just what you see. There's more in the unseen, in the spiritual realm. And when I went through my immense traumatic experience with my narcissist, it lit a fire in my soul. And I just had to seek out the answers because I was like, I can't do this on my own. Like it's so much. And like, it's funny because I ran into this kid at 27-year-old man at the grocery store the other day. And he was in a Christian youth group. He was a minister and he was in the band, the drummer. And I was telling him my story, and my narcissist was a Jezebel spirit. A Jezebel spirit can be in a man as well, but essentially she was a high-ranking demon, not like a lower rank, like high up there on Satan's list. Like I'll go into more detail in more narcissist videos and stories of what she put me through, and like when you hear some of these things, it's just disgusting, absolutely disgusting. But yeah, I was telling him how I dated this Jezebel and gave him the whole story, and he sat and listened for probably like 45 minutes in the grocery store. And he was like, that is the craziest Jezebel story I have ever heard. And he asked if I would go to his church and go to his youth group and tell them my story. And so I'm going to, but my point is that when we go through these narcissistic relationships, people oftentimes don't understand, like they look towards science. And, I'll talk about the science and how they rewire your brain chemistry, and how the emotional part of the brain in a narcissist stops developing in early childhood. And that's why you essentially have a child in an adult's body. That's why they don't have any self-awareness. They don't have accountability for their actions. It's always your fault. I'll go more into all those different kinds of things. But I was thinking, I'm like, it was really to get me on my spiritual journey and get closer to God and understand, why I'm here and my purpose on this planet. And man, I feel for anyone that's been in a narcissistic or sociopath or psychopath relationship for long periods of time, or have a mother, father, family member that is a narcissist, because it's the worst thing. It's the worst thing I've ever gone through. And I talked about this in another video where I thought getting abandoned in childhood and put into foster care and being neglected my whole life was the worst thing. This far supersedes that, far. And so I always want to tell people, when you're in a narcissistic relationship, it is difficult to go no contact and to do silence. I got hoovered three times, I believe, back into it. And I've been no contact now for 9 months. And I had to delete every single photo, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photos. I had to throw out every single thing I ever got. I had to throw out things that even reminded me of the narcissist. And, I still thought about her on a daily basis a lot. And what happens when you're in these narcissistic relationships, I said this in another video, they rewire your brain. You become an addict to them. You're seeking the dopamine hit that they give you. And they know this. Narcissists know what they do. And they know they're getting you addicted. And if you look for the red flags when you're in a narcissistic relationship, oftentimes it's very difficult, because you're so blinded either by their beauty or that addiction to get that dopamine hit that you look past all the red flags. And it's only after, when you get out of the narcissistic relationship, that you can actually see all the red flags. And it's funny, because my narcissist literally told me hundreds of times that she was a narcissist, subtly, in strange little ways. And I never picked up on it when I was actually in the relationship till afterwards. And I'm like, man, she said this in the first week. And I'm like, that's crazy. I always thought she was just weird. The last day, before we end this video, I'm going to tell you what she told me the last day I ever saw her. I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny. But I always thought she was a witch. And I never really, you see in movies, zombies and witchcraft and vampires and all that stuff. And I'm like, I never really believed in that, ghosts. And I believe in all that now, after what I went through. And I'll tell you more about my stories, and it goes deep. It goes real deep. But essentially, she had told me she had practiced witchcraft early on in her life. She did the Ouija boards, where you summon spirits and they move your hand on a letter and give you phrases or things that the spirits want to say. She did that she was a twin. She did that with her twin sister when she was a kid. And then she did black magic and voodoo in her, early 20s, and voodoo dolls, all that type of stuff that you see in movies. And I just thought she was weird. And I'm like, okay, she's weird. I didn't believe in any of that stuff. And the last day I saw her, and she told me many other times something similar to what she told me on this last day, and I just thought she was weird. I never really looked into it. But the last day, right before I was walking out of her house, I remember she was sitting on her bed, and she said, if people knew what I was, I'd be burned alive. It's she's saying, I'm a witch. I'm a witch. And when I heard that, I was just like, okay, how sadistic these people are is unfathomable, especially if you get a Jezebel, a high-level Jezebel, a high demonic. There's different levels. There's different tiers to all of this. But if you get a high-up one, man, the pain that they can inflict on you is astronomical. And she put all kinds of spells on me, did all kinds of witchcraft. She did mirror magic. She did love spells. And for people that don't think that kind of stuff exists, it does. And I never thought it did until I went through it. The tongue, the mouth, Words are very powerful. A lot of magic is just words, word magic. And if you look at like affirmations, affirmations are a type of magic. It's in a positive way. You're rewiring your brain, right? You're speaking to yourself. You're speaking out loud. You're putting energy into the universe, into the world, positive. But with narcissists, and I've read this a lot with narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths, they all do a lot of witchcraft, word magic, mirror magic, all that type of stuff. And once I was like, man, why am I always thinking about her all the time? It's because she was doing love spells. And she had told me all this stuff. And I just thought she was weird. And I never really, because I was so like infatuated with her, I never really gave it a second glance. I'm like, man, she's just a weirdo. I don't know. I liked that she was kind of weird. But she would always tell me things about like the mirror stuff, or how, I want to keep this as PG as possible, but how she would touch herself in the mirror and look into her own eyes and do little, things. And when you put that, sexual energy is the most powerful energy in the world. If you put that energy out there, that's love spells, and people think that stuff doesn't exist. It does. I can assure you 1,000,000% it does. Witches are real. All that stuff is real. I want to end the video because I could talk about this for like 2 weeks straight without sleeping. Like, I have so much information. I've watched thousands of YouTube videos, read thousands of forums and paperbacks, like not hundreds, thousands. Like, I have so much in my brain about narcissism on the science side and the spiritual side. And I'm still, in my mind, trying to put the two together, the science and the spiritual. And there's just so much information out there. But I just hope that this helps someone. And like, I really feel called to put these videos out. And I had thought about this months ago with all the videos I do. Like, I do fitness, health, nutrition, spirituality. I do, the channel's called Authentically Yourself. So I just want people to become the best versions of themselves. And I got pushed by my mom and other friends. They said, I should talk about narcissists and like what I went through. And I didn't want to for the longest time. I was like, and I had so much knowledge in my head, but I was like, I don't know if I was scared to do it because I know she's spying on me, making fake accounts, looking at my Instagram and all that stuff. And I just like didn't want to put that out there. And narcissists can be dangerous. Narcissists can be physical. And so, I was hesitant. But now I'm in a point where, it's been 8 months of healing. I've been in 2 seasons of isolation where I'm like, okay, I think it's time that I start putting this out. And I feel like God is calling me to put this out there because we're seeing now the highest rise of narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths ever in history. And yeah, it's because of all the social media, the Instagram boss bitches and this and that. And like I said, Jezebel spirits can be in men as well. It's not just a female thing. My narcissist was a covert narcopath, which is a narcissist sociopath. And she had psychopath tendencies as well. And it's all on a spectrum, right? Everyone has narcissistic tendencies. If you have self-awareness and you feel guilt and remorse when you do things that are bad, you're not a narcissist, okay? Narcissists don't feel guilt or remorse. They don't apologize for things. If they do apologize, it's a backhanded apology. It'll be, I'm sorry you feel that way. Like they can't take accountability for the things they do wrong. Again, their emotional brain, they're a child. They can't take accountability for anything. So if they do give you an apology, it's going to be a backhanded apology where it's like, yeah, I'm sorry you feel that way. It'll never be like, oh, I'm so sorry that I did that to you. I didn't realize how much that hurt you. I see now that, I made a mistake. You will never, ever get that from a narcissist, ever. They cannot take accountability for their actions. Everything you do, everything they do is your fault. Everything bad that they do, they blame on others. They have to. They can't take accountability. So again, that was another little tangent, but we'll talk more about this. I could probably do 1,000 videos on narcissists. So I hope this was helpful to some people out there. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, do you think it could be karma, or is it more biblical, getting you towards God's journey for your life purpose? You know, both. Let me know what you guys think. Again, like, subscribe, comment, and I will talk to you guys later. Enjoy the day, stay safe, and be your most authentic self. Later, guys.